Hi all. uh, I got to start again. There's a cut to me looking at your face. I wasn't looking at your face before.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's. I am now. All right, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Hi all. Welcome to Konpira Maru chat, episode 6 from Lockdown Part 2. Very special guest tonight. He's a little bit nervous. It's Sam Cook. Welcome, Sam.
Oh, thank you, Alastair. Nice to be here, mate.
How are you? Nice and warm up there. I've got the heater on in Victoria.
Yeah, I had to put clothes on to jump on, but yeah, it's a nice day in Queensland.
Just saw you change it up with the black t-shirt.
Yeah, I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. Something different.
Yeah. Yeah, and let me just combined with a little pair of shorts or...
Yeah, a little pair of ruggers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to what we're going to do now, Sam, and it's great to have you on for the first time since Konpira Maru, the infamous Konpira Maru chat, episode 1. From up in Whitland.
I've enjoyed them.
We're going to taste the Admiral Ackbar Semillon and the Gymkata Syrah. Now, as like in the true tradition of YouTube unboxing videos, you haven't tasted the Gymkata Syrah since it's been in bottle.
Yeah, no, this is like a good way to explain things about how the lockdown and restrictions have affected us as a wine company, because I'm obviously based in Queensland and Alastair's down in Victoria. So
that's why I have a heater on and you're in shorts.
Yeah, that's right. So since all the travel restrictions have been in place, I haven't been able to get there, which has been terrible. Because I've missed out on a lot of fun and games, and Alastair's had to really steer the ship and dominate, as he has been doing.
Steering the ship like that Greek ship captain who, remember the one that ran it into the Greek island? It was a couple of years ago. Remember the one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then was the first one on a life raft.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is the way that we've had to kind of communicate and discuss different wines. Alastair sends me up samples and we look at them periodically, and then it's all a bit of a surprise until I get my bottles of the end product. So yeah, it's bloody exciting to taste the mighty Gymkata today for the first time since it's been in bottle.
Excellent. And on that note, we'll taste the Semillon. So with the two of these wines from the Kilmore Vineyard, Quarry Ridge, which I believe, Sam, is our 6th vintage. 2015 was the first.
Yeah.
Which we made the Shiraz, but we didn't make the Semillon that year. I think we started that year after.
Year after, yeah. Correct.
Yeah, so the Semillon, they're both made in a pretty similar fashion, except so both fully fermented on skins. I'm going to have to jump up and actually plug my computer in a second. So yeah, both fermented on skins, but the Shiraz gets a bit of cold soak at start. So maybe while good. Sam, it's me again.
Oh, hi, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the record. My laptop ran out of batteries. So, yeah. So at some point I'm going to do a jump cut, but the Semillon is fermented on skins. The Shiraz fermented on skins, of course, but the Shiraz gets a cold soak at the start, whereas the Semillon does not. So it's just ambient temperature ferment the whole way through. Can you remember a bit of the history about making it? So I think the first year we didn't do it on skins at all.
Yeah, so it's kind of we've been pretty consistent. It's always been a skinsy style, but not, you wouldn't call it orange. So it's more about just extracting a little bit of texture, especially in the palate, rather than making it like a proper chewy kind of orange style wine. That gets kind of tweaked with vintages depending on the fruit. This year we actually decided to pump it up. So this is the longest it's ever spent on skins, about 3 weeks, maybe a few days more. And for me, it really you can really see that in the wine. And it's good because we always have like a certain percentage of customers who say to us, it'd be great to see that with a little bit more skin contact time. So this year we've done that, so we're pleasing them, no doubt. But yeah, this for me has definitely got that little bit of added kind of grip. It's still nice and subtle, but it's just got that dried herb kind of little bit of chalky kind of chewiness in the mid palate without going over the top. So I think it still ticks the box for people who aren't used to orange wines per se, and it could be a good introduction for them. But probably just a little bit more for those people who love texture and some chewiness in a white wine this year.
Yeah, that's a good call. I was just thinking about that while you were talking. Also, with the connection, you're a little bit blurry. But I'm looking crystal clear. So, this is that sort of chewy. It's got that sort of pulpiness to it.
Yeah.
Probably about, yeah. I think I sort of stopped listening to you a little bit during that last bit, but you're saying that the other day that it's a lot more tropical than usual. Yeah,
so as this year for me as well, down to vintage condition more than anything else, its fruit profile has changed slightly. So where it was more kind of citrus driven, I'd say, in the past, it's turned more tropical. And I remember when I got my sample, I was like, shit, Alastair, did you dump some Sauvignon Blanc in there or something? Because it's got that kind of, for me, like a pineapple skin, little bit of passion fruit, which is different. But in saying that, I bloody love it. It's tasty. But yeah, it just shows you, like, when you're making wine, like us, and you're not working, with a recipe, things change each year, which is the beauty of it from my perspective.
It's just like life, isn't it, Sam? Things change, you grow.
In some ways, sometimes. I haven't grown since I was 13.
Yeah, arms have. Huge, long arms. I really like it. What would you now, Sam? You're a cook, a proficient cook. I'm not allowed to call you a chef. Obviously, your surname's Cook, but you also are a chef of some note. What would you match this with? I'm going to give 5 seconds to think about it.
I don't need it, mate. Okay. I don't need it. We're coming into mango season now. So personally, I think like a nice, like a green mango salad of some sort, some sort of style. A little bit of maybe some fried calamari. I'm thinking those sort of vibes for this warmer weather. In Melbourne, probably, I don't know, a hot pot stew, something like that.
What would you have in the hot pot?
Beef.
Beef hot pot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I'll be cold.
Yeah. It is quite a contrast. I won't dwell on it, but I'm, when I leave the winery in a minute, I'll put my face mask on and scurry home, via the shadows back to my domestic bubble. And I think you've been down the beach. Probably down at the schooner at the surf club or something.
Yeah, couple. We can stick up now too, not to rub it in, but
Yeah, who would have thought, say 6 months ago, that what a milestone would be the stand-up beer?
Yeah, which for me I've just never got, because I'm all about the sit down at any time possible. So whatever.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Something fresh and crunchy and little bit of spice. I reckon would be a good food match for this wine. And in true Ackbar style, for me, it's smashable on its own, which is important.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to keep talking about standing up and having beers, but the
yeah, I could see that. So,
yeah. No, I think so. Yeah, it does sound like it would be a good match. Well, maybe with the pork stir fry I had last night, Sam.
Yeah, perfect.
With the,
Perfect.
soybean and chili jam.
Oh, time.
Yeah, it's time. Yeah. So this year, Sam, as way of an intro, this was to be the last vintage for both of these wines from that vineyard because the owner who bought the property as a tree change in the 1960s, in the 1990s, wanted to do a sort of a semi-D tree change where he wanted to stay in the country but not have so much agricultural responsibility during the week, and he does work very hard. Russell and Barbara, they work very hard. So this was going to be the last vintage. However, it looks like they're going to be producing grapes again next year, which is fantastic because this is one of the real vineyard gems of the state, in our opinion. And the Shiraz is just the sort of the central pillar of that vineyard, and the first fruit that we started working with. And it varies, doesn't it? From some years, 2017, very cold year, it was 10.9%. Then the year after, it was 14.5%. And then this year's clocked in at 10.3%. But for me, it's one of the most balanced Gymkatas that we've done, even though it's so low in alcohol. That's great.
Oh, yeah.
It's tasty, isn't it?
I'm a happy man. It's definitely more in line with the harder styles that I've always preferred, which is that those cold years and the lighter alcohols. Even 2015, was it? I think rings a bell a little bit.
Yes.
And where you still get all that beautiful Gymkata fruit, the spice is already there, which usually takes a little bit of time to develop, but it's nice and spicy already. And it just doesn't feel kind of limp or light. It doesn't feel like it's missing anything in the palate. It's got a real freshness, a little bit of tiny bit of a spritz, and just feels alive.
You just essentially described everything I'm not, and I think the wine's all the better for it. Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? I remember in 2017, the difference with that year is people will never look at 2020 and go, that was really cold and geez, it was hard to ripen X variety. Whereas 2017, everybody was complaining about inability to ripen things, or it was really slow and then it happened really quick, or then the mold came in, whatever. The Shiraz, I remember that year, the Cabernet they managed to mature, but the Shiraz just would not ripen, and we ended up just picking it because the leaves were dropping off. And whilst it was a nice wine, it was really just a real sort of chillable proposition. Whereas this one seems to have developed, holistically, just at a lower alcohol point. What would you now you're a well-travelled man, Sam, a sagacious chap. Now you've tasted Shiraz from around the world. What would you liken this to? You've got
what I like it to
5 seconds to think about it.
I couldn't liken it to anything, Alastair. I'd say it's very unique in terms of the terroir it shows, and also production and winemaking from our end makes a very unique style of Shiraz or Syrah, and one that is very hard to forget for all the right reasons.
What would be your favourite Shiraz apart from this? Just as a personal
Shiraz?
side. Yeah.
Geez,
Or it could be a moment that you had it. Like, it could have been just a Wyndham Shiraz, but you had it at a great time. Maybe with me or...
Yeah, I meant it's like a... I think it might have been a 2001 Pepperjack on release. Just so juicy.
Let me tell you that story about when I was talking to Dan Murphy's sort of inner sanctum, and they were talking about how they were just selling so much Pepperjack that they just decided to make their own version.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's just so savage. So savage.
I think this is like it's pretty different sort of style. Like it's for those who've only tried like the last year or two's Gymkata, it is going to be like a different experience for you. But like the Ackbar, that's kind of the joy of it for me.
There's still some touchstones there. You know, there's still some touchstones which would be familiar to people.
Yeah, for sure. The fruit profile's still there, and like for me, like the spice, that black pepper spices come through earlier than it usually does, because I usually start seeing that after a few months in bottle. So yeah, I mean the mold of it is kind of there, but yeah, there's definitely some differences, and for me, like I'm into it. I like it.
Yeah, so do I. I actually really love it, and you really can tell the difference when you're having this at a dinner or by yourself, in a dark room or whatever your choice is. Seriously 25% less alcohol, 30% less alcohol than normal.
Yeah.
You're a winner. You're a winner the next day. You're a winner anyway.
We've always preferred that in a way, like the lower alcohol stuff, as long as it can ripen. It's like the same thing with beers. Like if you can make a beer with low alcohol but with the same taste, it's happy days. So yeah, this one definitely ticks all those boxes, which is good news for me.
Yeah.
And my partner, Victoria.
Yeah, the lovely Victoria. So yeah, you got anything else to add, Sam? Otherwise, maybe for episode 7. We could do the new Icarus and the Disco Pocket, and maybe a preview of the Christmas Pet Nap.
Oh, yeah?
How about that?
Yeah, love it.
All right. Maybe we'll do that next week. So I remember when we did episode 1, we were going to do another video the next day, and then we've ended up doing one about 12 months later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to.
That's
Hey,
you've got to get your head around that.
No, yeah, well, it's true.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to doing the Disco Pocket because that one I've discussed before has got a special place in your historical canon, because it's from the vineyard where you made your first commercial wine, very popular Riesling, and Vermentino from the first vineyard we ever used for this company.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, thanks for jumping on, Samuel.
No worries, mate.
Yeah, it's good to have you on, and yeah, I'll catch you. Well, I'll probably give you a call tomorrow, but from a vlog point of view, see you at episode 7.
Over and out.
See ya.